Shalom, welcome back to the Sequential Zohar series. Today's topic is called The Pure Marble Stones, Seeing Through the Illusion of Separation and Returning to Unity. There is a very strange teaching in this section of the Zohar. Rabbi Akiva tells his students, when you reach the pure marble stones, do not say, water, water. At first, that sounds almost impossible to understand. What does it mean to reach pure marble stones? Why would someone say water twice? And why would that be dangerous? The marble stones are pure. They shine. They are so clear that they can look like flowing water. And the warning is this: when you reach that level, do not divide what is actually one. Do not look at unity and call it two things. Do not stand before the secret of oneness and project separation onto it. A person can reach a very high place, see something pure, see something luminous, see something beyond ordinary perception, and still misunderstand it because their mind is still trained in division. The eyes see one reality, but the mind says this and that, upper and lower, good and bad, here and there, me and God, light and darkness. And the Zohar is saying, be careful. At the highest gate, false separation becomes a lie. This chapter begins with Rabbi Elazar asking Rabbi Shimon about Rabbi Akiva's statement. The friends are sitting in the house of study, discussing this mystery. And then a figure comes down, described as the most ancient among the old. This is not just an old teacher walking into the room. In the language of the Zohar, ancientness points upward. Hokmah and Binah are ancient. Keter is even higher. So the one who descends is bringing a teaching from a level beyond ordinary wisdom. The Zohar says this secret was known in the heavenly academy, but hidden from the people of that generation. It is revealed only when the students are ready, not to turn the secret into confusion. So, the first practical message is humility. When we approach the higher teachings, we do not come as owners. We come as vessels. We do not say, I understand everything now. We say, let me receive this carefully. Let me not create a lie out of a truth. Then the Zohar explains the image of the pure marble stones through the letter Aleph. The Aleph has two Yuds, one above and one below, with a vav between them. The two Yuds point to the upper and lower formations, the upper world and the lower world, the hidden wisdom above and the revealed wisdom below. And the Vav between them is the tree of life, the line that connects them. That is the true structure of spiritual life. There is an upper wisdom and a lower wisdom. There is the world of root and the world of expression. There is heaven and earth. But in the Aleph, they are not enemies. They are joined through the tree of life. So when Rabbi Akiva says not to say water, water, he is warning against seeing the two Yuds and thinking they are separate waters. He is warning against looking at upper and lower and forgetting the Vav in the middle. The Vav is connection. The Vav is the line. The Vav is the living bridge. Without it, everything becomes broken into categories. With it, the upper and lower are one flow. This matters in daily life. Many people live as if the spiritual and the physical are separate. Prayer is spiritual. Work is physical. Study is holy. Eating is ordinary. Shabbat is sacred. The weekday is empty. But the deeper path is not to escape the lower world. It is to connect the lower world back to the upper world. When the Vav is present, even ordinary life becomes part of the tree of life. Your speech, your choices, your silence, your work, your discipline, your kindness, your restraint, all of it becomes a place where the upper enters the lower. The chapter then gives a very sorrowful image. It speaks of two eyes and two teardrops falling into the great sea. These two tears are connected with the two tablets of the Torah and also with the two temples. Moses brings the Torah down to Israel, but the people are not ready to receive the tablets in their original purity. The tablets break. The tears fall. The temples are later destroyed. On the surface, this is tragedy. Something whole becomes broken. Something pure descends into a world that cannot hold it. The light is too great for the vessel, and the vessel shatters. But the Zohar is not only telling history, it is telling the pattern of the soul. Every person knows this pattern. There are moments when a pure light enters your life. A calling, a teaching, a relationship, a discipline, a moment of awakening, a moment where you can feel your higher self clearly. But If the vessel is not ready, that light cannot remain in its original form. So the soul receives a second form of teaching, not the pure tree of life level, but the tree of knowledge of good and evil. A world of permitted and forbidden, right and left, life and death. Do this, do not do that. Come close, stay away. That is why spiritual discipline matters. Rules are not the enemy of light. Boundaries are not the opposite of love. They are the garments that allow a broken vessel to begin the repair. But the danger is forgetting that the garment is not the final truth. The world of good and evil is necessary, but it is not the highest vision. At the highest root, the pure marble stones are still in unity. This is where the teaching becomes very powerful. The Zohar says, do not compare the pure marble stones with the other stones. The other stones belong to the realm of life and death, right and left, wise heart and foolish heart. They are in separation. But the pure marble stones are in unity, without separation. On one level, life is full of opposites, good and evil, permitted and forbidden, success and failure, exile and redemption, brokenness and healing. This level is real for our work. We cannot ignore it. We must choose wisely. But above that level, there is a higher unity where the root is not broken. From below, the tablets break. From above, the root remains whole. From below, the temples are destroyed. From above, the divine intention remains alive. From below, the soul falls. From above, the soul still has its root in God. So the great mistake is to reach a glimpse of this higher unity and then speak about it with the language of the lower division. That is what it means to say water, water. It means seeing one flow and naming it as two. It means standing before unity and importing separation into it. It means looking at the pure marble and saying, this is just like the lower waters that divide into life and death. Rabbi Akiva says, do not do that, because a lie cannot stand before the face of the divine. This is not just about saying wrong words. It is about consciousness. Words reveal perception. If a person's speech divides what God has unified, then the speech becomes dangerous because it reinforces the illusion. And this connects with the synopsis of the chapter. Evil, as we perceive it, is an illusion at the deepest level. That does not mean pain is fake. It does not mean suffering is nothing. It does not mean we should ignore injustice or pretend brokenness does not exist. It means that separation is not ultimate reality. The pain is real at the level where the vessel is broken. The tears are real. The exile is real. The discipline is real. But the lie is thinking that brokenness has the final word. The lie is believing that the upper unity was actually destroyed. The Zohar is teaching us how to look at life without being hypnotized by fragmentation. So the practice is simple but not easy. Before you judge what you see, pause. Before you name a thing as divided, pause. Before you call a season curse, pause. Ask whether the lower picture is hiding an upper unity that your fear has not yet learned how to recognize with patience and humility before the light today. When something breaks in your life, do not immediately assume the root is broken. When a door closes, do not assume the light has abandoned you. When a season collapses, do not assume the entire path was false. Sometimes what breaks is only the form. The inner root remains held above. That is why spiritual maturity is the ability to hold two levels at once. On the lower level, you still take responsibility. You repent. You repair. You choose. You guard your speech. You discipline your desire. You respect boundaries. You do not use unity as an excuse to become careless. But on the higher level, you do not worship the brokenness. You do not make exile into your identity. You do not say that because something shattered below, it must also be shattered above. The pure marble stones are the place where the soul learns not to project its lower confusion onto the upper truth. And this is extremely practical. Many people pray from division. They feel far from God. They feel unworthy. They feel separated. So even when they pray, their prayer says, God is over there and I am over here. But the deeper prayer begins when we remember that the soul has a root in oneness. We may feel distant, but the root is not distant. We may feel broken, but the root is not broken. We may feel scattered, but the Aleph still holds the upper Yud and the lower Yud, and the Vav between them. Instead of chasing signs everywhere, we become quiet. Instead of forcing mystical experiences, we become clean vessels. Instead of dividing every experience into good omen and bad omen, we ask, where is the line of connection here? Where is the Vav? Where is the tree of life inside this moment? And for us, that means the goal is not to sound mystical. The goal is to perceive cleanly, speak truthfully, and let the soul return to the simple oneness beneath every shattered appearance in daily life. Because the real test is not whether you can see light when everything looks bright. The real test is whether you can remember unity when the lower world looks split. This is the secret of the pure marble stones. They look like water, but they are not the divided waters. They are not two separate flows. They are purity reflecting unity so strongly that the mind can mistake the reflection for something else. So the warning is gentle but serious. Do not name the highest place from the lowest confusion. Do not speak separation into unity. Do not turn a glimpse of oneness into another concept for the ego. When you reach purity, become silent enough to receive it. That is also why the Aleph is silent. The deepest truth is not always loud. Sometimes the highest wisdom is carried by silence, alignment, and clean perception. The Aleph does not need to scream. It simply holds the secret of above and below in one shape. At first, we live in division. Then we receive discipline. Then we taste repair. Then, little by little, the hidden unity begins to return. We stop saying, water, water. We stop dividing everything. We stop believing every illusion our eyes show us. The pure marble stones are not far away only in some heavenly palace. They appear whenever the soul stands before a moment of purity and refuses to corrupt it with false division. When you see goodness, do not immediately doubt it. When you feel peace, do not immediately analyze it to death. When God gives you clarity, do not tear it apart with suspicion. When the light shows you unity, do not answer with separation. Just stand there with humility. Let the upper and lower meet inside you. Let the Vav return. Let the tree of life connect what your fear tried to divide. And then the teaching becomes simple. The world may look broken, but the root is not broken. The tablets may fall below, but the wisdom above remains whole. Tears may enter the great sea, but they are not wasted. What descends in sorrow can return in repair. So, when we reach the pure marble stones, we do not say water, water. We say less. We become more honest. We allow unity to be unity. And in that moment, the soul stops arguing with the light and begins to see reality as it truly is. Shalom.